Join us now to talk about the candidates' plans for the economy. Hoover Institution's Lanhee Chan, he's also a CNBC contributor. The Republicans have their own problems with tariffs. But for Ken Chenault to come on and speak, not mention the proposals that are coming out now, which is capital gains rates, the highest since 1922, at 44.6%, 25% tax on unrealized gains, price controls on grocery prices. There's a laundry list of some of the most radical economic proposals. I think it's Biden 2.0. Is it that different than what he has said he wanted to do but was unable to accomplish?
Yeah, I think it's a very similar perspective, but there's some areas where it's hypercharged. I mean, you talk about efforts, for example, to enhance down payments for people, which will certainly raise housing prices. I mean, the challenge with a lot of these policies is that they sound politically appealing, but the execution of them, the reality of them, I think creates some serious questions.
How do you do the 25% tax on unrealized gains? So you got a stock, it doubles 1 year, you pay the 25% on it. What if it gets cut, like stocks do? Just look at the 52. What if it goes down and gets cut in half the next year? Do you get the money back?
Well, you can try to get the money back. I think the challenge is that's why this kind of proposal has always been stuck in. There's an administrative morass, first of all. How are you actually going to make this happen? But there's a bigger philosophical question, which is what's the right direction for the economy going forward? What is the right perspective for the economy going forward? And it is two very different visions that you're seeing. This is actually an election where there are some similarities on tariffs and some of the more populist elements, but there are actually some pretty significant contrasts between what Trump and Vance would do and then what Harris and Walz would do. And I think it's going to be an exciting debate because on the capital gains issues, on these issues around price gouging, for example, very different views of the economy.
You know what's really weird?
Can I just ask one thing?
Yeah.
If you're taxing unrealized gains, even best case scenario, how is that not just stealing from the future?
Right.
Like future tax returns, future taxes that you would be paying into the economy.
It feels to me a little bit like,
at the very least,
like the same kinds of accounting gimmicks that you get in a lot of budget writing now,
we'll
whether
take
it happens
now
at the federal level.
When you would have sold the stock anyway.
Absolutely. And then the question of when you realize it, and then your point, Joe, what about value changes over the years? And then are there inflows and outflows from the Treasury? It's very complex. But it's just a different philosophy. It's a different way of looking at the tax system.
Give it to me now.
Yeah.
We're also hearing, and I had leader Hakeem Jeffries on yesterday, and the capital gains, the corporate tax rate going back from 21 to 28%. Everybody points out, okay, it was 34. We were all agreeing to 25 or 26. Trump went too far, took it down to 21. There's nothing wrong with going back to 28. Now, we've had people on that have said that they have built things here because it's 21%. There's the CFO of J&J. There has been a lot of manufacturing come back. A lot of good things have happened from a lower corporate tax rate. And then it occurred to me, I keep hearing that the U.S. has emerged from the pandemic because of Bidenomics better than any other country, right? It's really been because of our economy, isn't it? Because of our corporations, because of the private sector. They celebrate the private sector because it certainly wasn't the government that did this.
Well, I don't know if you listened to last night. It seemed like there was a celebration.
But isn't it really the private sector that's got it? Now, why do they want to hamper? And they're also subsidizing select industries with the CHIPS Act and the IRA.
Well, it's industrial policy.
So they want to raise taxes on one hand, but subsidize favored policies on the other hand. None of it makes sense.
It makes sense from a political perspective. It's all about politics. Because the corporate tax rate is very hard to explain to the average voter in the sense of, you say to them, well, look, corporations are getting a massive tax cut. What they didn't realize is two things. First of all, you've got a bunch of people who've planned, to your point. The one thing that business hates the most is not necessarily a high tax rate, it's uncertainty. So you start reopening all of this to the point from your interview earlier. That creates a challenge around how the economy grows because there's no certainty.
You're okay with 28? Now you're sounding like Romney's guy.
No.
Like this sort of rhino mess.
It is.
You think you're fine with 28? I'd go to zero.
I want the corporate tax rate where it is.
I would go to zero.
I want the corporate tax rate where it is, right? But my point is that I'm just trying to explain why it is that this has become such a powerful talking point. Is because it's much easier to say, hey, let's go hit the corporations.
It's not fair.
Let's
get a fair.
But there's two issues. One is the one I mentioned earlier, which is certainty. The other issue is we're trying to battle all of the behavior that happened before we cut the corporate tax rate. All of the inversions, all of the different kinds of activity that kept corporate activity outside the United States. All that's just going to come back if you raise the corporate tax rate.
Do you think at this point the advantage or what Democrats get out of appealing to the populist side of things, does that accrue net to more benefits than some people who look at these and say this is Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren type economic?
I mean, that is the definitional question of the election. If people see it as Bernie Sanders socialist style and they believe it's gone too far, then that creates political challenges.
They already had their base. I don't know why they.
Well, but I think for a lot of working Americans right now, I think that's the challenge: is how do you appeal to working Americans? And the Democrats have made the bet that it's going to be primarily by moving entirely in this populist direction. And they have sort of essentially unmoored themselves from any reality on a lot of these economic policies.
An advantage that she can run against, say, on day one, I'm going to change what the last 3.5 years have
Well,
rocked?
that's the thing, that's what, I mean, you look at last night's speeches.
They
try to make her,
Tell me what they said.
Well, they try to make Kamala Harris into the candidate of change. Forgetting the fact she's been vice president of the United States for several years, right? So I think that'll be a challenge that's a leap for a lot of people. But if they can get there successfully politically, they will be politically successful. They will be able to win votes if they're able to convey her as somehow this candidate of change. That's going to be the big battle. Who represents change? Because just remember, you look at every single poll about the economy, about where our political system is, people are not happy. And so if you can be the candidate of change, you're going to be successful. And I think that's going to be the battle we're going to see over the next couple months.